Hello, guys. Welcome to my live talk show for the series of AWS User Group Community. So, for this episode one, I have invited my guest from AWS User Group Community of Nashik. So there are exciting folks who are going to come ahead and talk to you about community, how they built the community from scratch, how they are running it, how they share their knowledge with different people, how they are growing personally and professionally as part of this initiative, which they are driving right now. So, before I invite my guest to this specific forum to come ahead and answer our question in regards to AWS User Group community and AWS User Group, what would be the journey of a user group leader, what kind of journey a co-organizer follows, what kind of journey a volunteer has. So all these different kinds of journey are going to be shared with you guys in today's live talk show. But before I request these people to come ahead and join the forum to talk with you guys. Before that, let me show you some glimpse of the work that they have done for 2022 as a part of AWS User Group community for NASA. So here we go. Let me share with you one wonderful video of the work that they have done. I hope you will like it and love it. Hello guys, how are you all?
Hey, hi everyone.
Hi, correct.
So, guys, I have the AWS User Group Nashik leader as Abhishek, who is representing the group over here. I have Samruddhi from volunteer. We have two co-organizers. So all these guys are here to share their experiences with you guys. So let's go ahead and start our Q&A with these folks. Are you guys ready to answer the questions that usually come from people who are attending your AWS User Group Community Day or meetups? Because many people are having a lot of questions. Somebody thinks that how I should become a part of volunteer group, how I should become a part of a co-organizer for specific group. What is the roadmap to become a UG lead? So what I thought is let me ask you guys who are doing it in real time and answer their questions. So let's get started. So let me start with the user group lead of AWS community of Nashik. So Abhishek, over to you. Why don't you go ahead and share your experience as a user group lead for Nashik? Over to you, Abhishek.
Yep, sure. So, hi everyone. This is Abhishek. I lead the AWS User Group Nashik chapter. Professionally, I am a platform engineer and software engineer, and I mostly work on the AWS platform. Apart from that, I am a part of different communities, not just AWS, with different tech communities throughout the different cities like Pune, Ahmedabad, Nashik. And yep, that's my intro. And apart from that, I'll be walking through like how I started my journey, and I hope this will guide you like onto a lot of questions you guys have. And whenever I meet few people in the different events, I get these questions a lot, so I try to give this a short monologue and try to answer all of your questions. So my journey as a community member basically started when I was in college. So basically I graduated in 2020, but I started as a member of different tech communities from 2017-18 when I was in second or third year of my college. Nasik city didn't had much tech community or tech influence as such. I mean, there are few companies here with respect to tech, but they are not, as vibrant as Bangalore has or Pune has or Mumbai has. So what I tried to do is, I got in touch with Jayesh, who is a user group leader, who was a user group leader for AWS User Group Pune. He is basically from the same city, so I got in touch with him, and I tried to, we tried to organize some basic small meetups here, to just to see if people are interested here or not, right? Uh, but when we started, we saw that a lot of people are coming. They are showing interest that we want to be a part of this initiative. We would like to see more of it, right? So what we did is we continued that work on very small scale, like mostly monthly. We had to, set up a small meetup here, and 20-30 people used to come there regularly. And after that, there was, I think COVID thing happened. Due to that, everything was online, right? So what I thought is, why not start something online? Okay. And since in 2020 February, right before the pandemic happened, I was a part of AWS User Group Pune's, volunteering team. Okay,
Oh,
so
wow.
mostly I used to, on weekends, myself and Pushkar, I remember we used to travel from Nasik to Pune, or on a holiday, and we used to attend a lot of whatever events happening there. So I got in touch with Jayesh, I got in touch with Toshal, Vishal, and everybody else. And I think that was one of the grand events Pune has ever witnessed, like AWS, AWS Community Day 2020. And from there, we saw that, I mean, the scale we saw was something different, and as we saw in this year also. But we tried to, come up with something that our city has its own, right? So I got in touch with developer relations team from AWS, and they were, gracious enough to, allow me to, have my own community and start our own community here in Nashik. So I think July 2021, after the, pandemic slightly loosened up, and I was able to, set up the community forum and everything else. We have received a good response initially, and after that, we, of course, we couldn't do host physical in-person meetups, but what we did is we got in touch with a lot of good speakers, and we started it hosting as a live stream on YouTube. Okay, so you can say that inception of AWS User Group Nashik community started on YouTube itself.
Okay.
Even right after the stream, everybody in the audience can check. We have amazing sessions recorded on our YouTube channel, and the speakers you will see, they are from community heroes. We have industry experts with 10 plus years of experience, immense experience in AWS, and the topics are also very modern. Like we have covered from cloud formation to containers to serverless, everything which is hot in tech right now, we have covered it. But at a point you feel, right, that uh, the format should change somehow, not just online, but we should have, in-person meetups, so that people will get, because the important aspect of the community events are just networking. Of course, there are talks happening, but the networking is the most essential part. And what we try to do is, uh, this season we got a chance to host our community day, which is a flagship event. And until that time, we didn't hosted any in-person event. So we thought this is a good opportunity to, bring all the people in Nasik and do a in-person meetup, that to AWS Community Day. Okay, so
Oh,
which was a very sweet spot for us. And then we started our preparations 2-3 months back. We just hosted our Community Day on 5th November. Before that, I think from September we were, in planning phase. So I started, assembling my team. So some of the folks are here right now on screen, but apart from these, on behind the scene, there are a lot of folks. We have shared different departments, like for promotions, for the logistics, for the speaker management and all. And we were able to, do it very successfully. So basically, I have personally received so many messages, so many responses from the audience, that we want these kind of events happening regularly in the city. And uh, I mean, everybody was so happy that everybody was giving positive feedbacks that, okay, we can do this next. I will be, I'll be happy to speak. So we have got a lot of speaker connections. We have got a lot of volunteers from there. We have even onboarded some of the core team members from that event. So that was pretty good for us, and we are hoping to, continue that momentum, and come up with more such in-person events and increase the engagements. And on our page also, like social media pages, like LinkedIn was our primary page earlier, but we have migrated towards Meetup now. So the moment we have hosted this community day, after that there were a lot of reach happened, and we have got a lot of followers there. People are talking about AWS User Group Nashik. People get to know, like, okay, this is the user group which is very new and fresh, and they are trying to do these things. So we are getting a lot of exposure also because of that. So yeah, that's pretty much of it. So basically, I've covered the lot of timeline for AWS User Group Nashik. So this was the timeline, and we are hoping for the best in upcoming events. And I hope everything goes as good as it is currently right now. So yeah,
Okay. Thank you, Abhishek. But Abhishek, I have one quick question based on the journey that
yes,
you just shared with us. So you said that you guys started it virtually, then you went
correct,
into the mode of in-person meetups. So
correct.
what is the difference that you saw in virtual mode and in-person mode for the meetups that you are conducting?
Okay, so the thing is, for virtual meetups, right? It was very hard initially to get the folks on the live stream, because if you see in the pandemic, from schools to colleges, everything was on as a seminar or webinar in the YouTube. Everybody was very fatigued on that and was very hectic. They are watching every weekend. There is something happening on YouTube because there is no other means available in the pandemic.
Correct.
It was very hard to catch up with the audience, but what I mean, uh, over the time, like, I think we have hosted 8 to 9 streams. We were very consistent. In every month we have hosted a series of events, and I have seen personally the reach it is doing. So what we did is we tried to implement some gamification on that. Okay, in each event we have distributed some goodies. We have hosted a quiz, right? So people used to learn for over the 1 hour period, and at the very end of the event, we organized one quiz, right? And people were loving the quiz that I think we have hosted in Pune also. So it's a very good platform to validate our learnings, that we have learned something. And we
Exactly.
were used to give out some goodies to them, like credits, JetBrains subscriptions and all, so that increase our reach. And right after that, when we jumped into the in-person events, right? So I have seen folks saying that in whenever we were doing the online events, right,
Mhm.
the engagement between speaker and the audience was through the chat window.
Okay.
Okay, and in chat window, a speaker couldn't express himself much.
Okay.
So if you are asking a question in chat window, he
Uh-huh.
will just answer it in precise way, like short description. But if you are doing in-person event, everybody was, if you have seen in the video, right, we played, right? So in that, the speaker was surrounded by a lot of people every time. They were not ready to leave the speakers. Okay, so we had to, move them, like, okay, we can meet the speakers afterwards, right? So
Okay.
so these small differences was very good, and I think that's what make the virtual and in-person a huge difference. And I think both has its own pros and cons, right? Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So thank you, Abhishek, for sharing your journey. So, guys, as you saw that Abhishek started, I guess, in his 22 and 23, the journey of community. Correct me if I'm wrong, Abhishek. So,
Yeah.
guys, I am a part of AWS User Group Pune. I started in my 30s. So, I somewhere feel that I am so late because of these guys. So, in 20s, they have started into getting into community stuff, because when you are running a community, it doesn't mean that you're only running a community. You have to know what are the concepts you are going to bring up for as part of a speaker or as part of the community. You have to understand what the community is vouching for, what is the current AWS service in the market that everybody wants to learn, what is the trend, what people love. Based on that, you have to curate the live streams that he was talking about, or he has to get the speakers. Then he would also be checking that what kind of data they are going to present. So it's a very huge journey. So I guess, Abhishek, thank you for sharing that. So as a UG lead, I do understand there is a lot of uh,
Yeah.
important things that a person has to do. He has to be a multitasker to perform all the things. So thank you so much. So moving ahead to our next person. So guys, she's a volunteer of AWS User Group Nashik. That is Samruddhi. And trust me, guys, she has also been a volunteer for AWS User Group Pune, and she's a fantastic host. She has hosted our event. So in a proper manner, like feels like a professional person is doing it. So because everybody was praising the way she carried the show for User Group Pune, but yes, I heard good words from Abhishek also, that the same way she carried it for the AWS User Group Nashik also. So Samruddhi, over to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that introduction, Dheeraj. Yeah. So, yes, as Dheeraj, you already mentioned, I started my journey as a volunteer for Nasik. The thing is, like, I was friends, like, Pushkar, I was friends with Pushkar, Abhi, and these guys. And that time, in 2020, back then, so they were absolutely fascinated by these AWS communities. So, these guys, they used to travel from Nasik to Pune to be a part of those communities. So one fine evening, I received this call from Pushkar that like, I guess I told you about the AWS Pune community. So it was so fabulous, so nice. So now Abhi and I, we are coming up with an idea to form this AWS UG Nasik. So would you like to be a part of it? So I was like, of course, absolutely, I'd love to be. But then it went like, wait a minute, I am not into cloud, so what would I do there? Like, that is the basic question I guess most of the people they encounter. Ki, yes, I want to be a part of that community, but I am not much into cloud, so what will my role be there? So this was the same thing I came across. I was like, ki, okay, I'm not into it, तो मैं क्या करूंगी वहाँ पे? So these guys, they were like, okay, it's cool, even if though you're not in cloud, you want to be there, that's your start, that is the place where you come in. So that happened. I became a part of the community, not knowing what I have to do, but I was just a part. So then we started with the online sessions, online series of sessions, and then one fine day they are like, Sam, we are having this online session, so we have planned it is going to be our first session, so could you host it for us? So I was like, okay, that is something I do the best, because I love to talk, so I have to talk, so of course I'll enjoy it, and then somehow I'm contributing to the community as well. So that is how my journey started with AWS. It was not through any technology, or it was not through any technical stuff. So most of people, like, even like hosting for AWS Nasik or Pune community, many people, they came to me saying that we even, like, we want to contribute to the community, how do I become a volunteer, how do I get to be a part of this community? I'm not into that technology. So I was like, that is exactly how I have started. You need not be part of any technology, you need not be a part of any particular domain. Yes, if you want to be a part, you can contribute in any format possible. So the same way I started back then, when I became a, like, member for this particular community, I was not into the domain, but then I started to contribute. That is how I developed. And trust me, when I heard this quote from someone, when you are trying to be a part of any community, be it AWS or any community, don't ever think how or what things the community can give you. You always have to think that what you can contribute to the community. So this was amazing, a simple line, but it actually affected me. I actually experienced that particular quote when I became a part of this community. Like, when I started with my journey with AWS community Nasik, that time I encountered, like, the first in-person event that we hosted was the community day. And on that day, I realized that ye jo quote maine suna tha, it makes so much of sense, that you give a part, and in like, in turn of that, you will receive such an enormous, I don't know what to explain, or how to say, like, how to explain
It's
that
a feeling.
response that you get, or how to explain what exactly output you get from that community, be it networking, be it knowledge, be it the exposure, everything. But the only thing is, you don't have to be there with a purpose ki, ha, I want something out, so I'm gonna give. Just be there, just start with zero, no reason, you, like, no profit no loss thing, and eventually you'll realize what is actually the power of the community. Because initially I used to hear these quotes ki, ha, you have to be there and you don't expect anything, but that actually happens. Even eventually later, when I became a part of AWS community Pune, so that time, while volunteering for that, I realized that these folks, they give so much, like, they'll give their time, they'll give their efforts, they're always ready to share knowledge, so they expect nothing out of it, but
Yes.
yet community has so much to offer. So yeah, that was how I became a part. That is what fascinated me, that here, even if I may not be completely into that domain, I may not be into that technology, but yes, it doesn't mean that the community won't benefit you, or you are not able to benefit the community. So the first thing you have to think is, what can I contribute? So I found my factor after getting into the community. I found the factor ki I can contribute via my skills. Whatever skills we have, you can contribute with it. So I could talk well, so I became the host, or I could like speak and do those kind of works. Other people who were not into those domains, they volunteer via like anything. Like there are so many volunteering works when you organize. Now Dheeraj knows that well. All the others on the screen, they know it well. कि कितना सारा काम होता है.
Yes, yes.
So via any mean, every mean you can volunteer, and that is where then you get a start point. Ki, ha, this is the point from where I can start now. Even if you are not into that domain, but then you get a start point. You get a reason to be a part of it.
That was a talk with full of energy and motivation. I admire that. But guys who are looking to understand that what part a volunteer plays and who should join the community, is it only AWS specific people who should join the community, or this community forum is for everyone who wants to be a part of community, learn from community and grow? So thank you, Samruddhi, for sharing your insights. It was really valuable. I loved it. I hope
Thank you.
you guys who are watching would also love it for sure. So moving ahead to the next person, that is Yash. So Yash, you have been working as a co-organizer for this specific AWS user group of
Right.
Nashik. So why don't you go ahead and share your journey, that how you joined, what was your previous journey before coming into community and all. Over to you. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sure. Yeah. Thank you. So, hey, hi there. My name is Yash Karande, and actually, professionally, I'm a full stack software engineer. And the thing is, I actually met Abhishek and Pushkar when we were in college actually, and actually got to know that they also these guys also do like to do a lot of community open source community work, and that thing actually hit us totally hit us off. So we actually used to have long and long discussions regarding like how we should be able to how we can contribute to open source community, and how we can help more and more people to get into it, and all sort of things. So in the starting actually we just used to make like contribute in multiple projects and just open source them maybe, and try to can say get in as much as people as possible, and that was the thing back then. So later on actually no, there were as Abhishek already mentioned, he was actually trying to get as much as can say open source community as much as part of the open source community as possible. So that was the thing. And then later on got to know we have he has initiated to get the user group in Nashik as well. He had already we already had a discussion that Pune was hosting, and he already showed it to me how what was the can say how big was the event in the Pune, and I was actually mesmerized about it. How do you guys even handle all of these people, and all the events and everything. So he said we'll be starting it soon. And thing is he said we'll be needing multiple volunteers for the community, of course. So he said you we'll be inviting you for that. And the thing is I'm not a sort of a very social person, and of course community needs to have the community word itself needs to have socialization and everything. So wasn't sure how it was supposed going to go, but it went actually pretty well. So for the initial days, I actually contributed towards the AWS UG website, and I'm actually totally a techie person, I would say. So we built that in a few I guess in 2 to 3 weeks, and made it live, and that was the genesis of the can say AWS UG Nashik group. So after we can say a few months or so, I was actually at that particular time itself, I was getting into AWS and serverless, majorly, trying to improve myself, and trying to get as many projects as done, maybe professionally, or maybe it as a hobby. So I was trying to get it done. And then at that time, so what Abhishek said was, as you're learning it side by side, so why not you should go ahead and give a few talks on that. So what's wrong with that? So yeah, I was trying to prepare myself for that actually. Wasn't sure because the thing is I haven't never given any sort of talk or anything. So I did start with that. And then the first stream, I would say it went okay, I would say, because there are way too many issues while we did that. But we Abhishek and Pushkar actually did handle it very well, and Samruddhi as well like hosted pretty good. So that was actually a very good thing. And then there were two sessions actually that we did. It was regarding servers only. So one was related to the backend and one was related. So we completed a whole project under those two sessions. So after that, like from being a volunteer to a speaker, like it was till this particular part. Then after a few days, these guys did like what I was contributing to the can say to the user group. So what this guy said was let's invite him to the co-organizer group, like the team as well, the core team as well. So yeah, like it was pretty good journey till now, and like here we are now. So yeah.
Okay. So, based on your journey, I can understand you evolved as a good speaker as part of the community initiative you are involved in, correct?
Yeah, not good speaker, I would say, but like decent enough, maybe.
But at least you started from somewhere. You have
Yeah,
given
yeah,
two
yeah,
talks.
definitely.
And trust me, giving a talk as a speaker is not easy. So I do know that whatever speaker comes and the way they speak in front of so many people, you never know that what kind of questions they are going to
Right,
ask you. You have to be very well prepared about the topic that you're speaking as part of speaker. So
right,
I would really appreciate that you evolved as a speaker as part of the community initiative you got into. So thank you
right.
so much for sharing your experience. So moving ahead to the last person, that is Pushkar. So guys, Pushkar was again a volunteer for Pune. So these guys, that is Abhishek and Pushkar, they again traveled from Nashik to Pune, and Samruddhi is from Pune itself. So these two guys traveled from there again to Pune and help as part of a volunteer. So for them, it does not matter that whether they are volunteer, they are UG lead, or they are co-organizers. These guys are selflessly doing their job. They came, they were just one call away. Whenever we used to say, Abhishek, we need to do this, these guys are there day and night. So that is the kind of, just these guys are having the kind of inspiration they have, which motivates their team that they have built in Nasik. So let me go ahead and take it over to Pushkar. So Pushkar, over to you.
Yeah, hi, Dheeraj. Thank you for those kind words. Yeah, so I'm a co-organizer of the AWS UG in Nashik, and a volunteer at the Pune community, working as a front-end engineer at the Confab. So yeah, about many things already covered by all these people. So I will just keep it brief and explain how I just get contacted with the community and how community helped me. So when we were in college, I was like nothing. Like I was just a middle average student sitting in the like not a backbencher, not a front bencher in the middle of like no one knows kind of people. So then got to know about like I came in few times I sat with the Abhishek and okay, he talked about communities and many things. Okay, he's doing this and these people are doing this. Then I got to know, okay, yeah, we can do this. That piqued my interest. Then the communication gets started and like he just one event he dragged me to the event just like because for me it was like what I don't know anything about what they are going to talk. So why I go there and just sit and come back. So it was my perspective. But then when I will say just go attend one meetup and yeah, you will get to know what happens inside. So when I attended one meetup, I frankly speaking, I attended just for a visa because as a bachelor, we want to save the money. So but after that, when I saw the people are doing many things, like even the younger ones are doing like they are building some OS and they're planning something and everything. So I thought, okay, why we can't do that? So from that day, I just like whenever Abhishek calls, okay, bro, we have this event, we have to go. I was just by default, okay, just consider me a default. I will be there. You just name it, I will do it. So that was the thing. Then in the when I'm in college in the last year, yeah, it's last year I started. I was the lead of Google Developer Student Clubs. So I started the event like I started a group and conducted many sessions. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to host a in-person event, but yeah, that was a good experience. The community started, and this is it's a third year for that community, and those guys are doing great over there. Then one day Abhishek called, okay, yeah, I have applied for the UG at the Nashik, and yeah, we got approved. So yeah, we are before we were going for other others event. Now we are going to host our own. So yeah, be prepared for the all the hustle and everything. I said okay, yeah, just we'll go all in, and the rest already is told by the all the people. But as for the community concerns, like what it helped me, though, I was a person like who like you should talk less, but means in my own circle I talk a lot, but with other people I am totally like just a silent guy sitting in the corner kind of person. But as community helped me, I had to talk to many people. I was a GDS lead, so I was a lead, so I had to manage many things. Then Jay started Alexa Club, so we like I gave one I provided one talk in my college also on the how to build skills on the Alexa, and yeah, so that way like we conducted many session. I was a part of the IEEE also, so in that like community helped me like to be, with nobody to the guy who can go and speak. Yeah, this was my part, and yeah, it was a. It's been like it's like that. Okay, you. It's like a Gita. Just there's one quote in Gita, like कर्म करते जाओ फल की अपेक्षा मत करो. That is kind of community. Just do your work. At the end, community will give you a lot. That current job I get is from the community. So yeah, you it is not tangible things you can measure what community can give, but in the future you can get a job, you can get connections. Yeah, you get many things, but yes, you just have to start. Don't. It's like if you're sitting out of like you are seeing the box from the outside, you don't know what is happening inside the box. So come inside the box, and yeah, you will know the what are the benefits inside it is providing. Yeah.
So thank you, Pushkar. Fantastic journey that you have shared. Uh, the journey from which started with pizza and ended up being a co-organizer.
Yeah.
Yeah, you fine-tuned your interpersonal skills. From introvert, you become extrovert. You started interacting with people. You started making connection in terms of networking, right? So that's
Yeah.
a lovely journey, I would say. I really admire it. So thank you guys for sharing your journey. So before we go ahead to end our live talk, Abhishek, why don't you go ahead and share your message if somebody is looking for to join as a volunteer, if somebody wants to join the community, wants to do some contribution, what are the right ways? What is your meetup page? Why don't you go ahead and put that link in the post over here in the message, share it with people, tell them that how they can reach out to you so that they can join your community and they can contribute as part of Nashik user group community. Over to you, Abhishek.
Sure. So basically, as Pushkar and Yash also mentioned, uh, to get started, right, you just have to go there first. Okay, so here is what I did. So what I did is I saw the meetup page for the Pune user group. I knew that there is an event happening there, so I reached out there, and there I met a lot of people. I got in touch with the organizers, volunteering team, how they are doing this huge task, managing their day jobs, because everybody knows we are not full time doing community, right? Basically we have our day jobs, and after that we have to put some effort into the community. So I got in touch with them, like, how do you manage basically, and what keeps you going? So they will help you get started, because they are pros and they are maintaining these communities since very long. So they have pulled me in as a volunteer. They told me that just start contributing here. I started contributing to the communities in different ways. So I used to sit on the registrations. I used to get in touch with speakers to get them on board. I used to, if I have some doubts in my tech things in job, I used to reach out to them, like how this will I can solve these issues. This way you build some relations and some connections with the organizers and the core team, and they'll know that okay, this guy has some passion, he diligently wants to work. So basically you just have to start contributing in one way or another. They will pull you in, and you can get started step by step. For example, as Yash mentioned, uh, we were just a friends of group of friends sitting in the college, and we one by one we started community. He started as volunteer, he started helping me organize events virtually, managing my streams, And as I mentioned, I put a website link in the chat. The website is almost all developed by Yash. So like these small things he contributed towards, and afterwards he was learning serverless. So I told him, why don't you take one session and show people build the app from scratch. Okay, so in just 2 sessions he built a app, end to end using serverless technology, so which is a very good thing. As a first time speaker, he did it pretty well, I would say. uh, After speaker, so whenever I used to talk about, like, we have to host this kind of event. Okay, so for this month we have to do some meetup. So these guys used to, whenever I used to put a message in group that okay, I'm thinking to do this, everybody will say okay, okay, I'll do this. I don't have to tell them that, okay, so you take care of this, you take care of this. No, so they will take responsibilities on their own. They will just show me work done, and that is how the events make successful, right? I As an organizer, you it's practically impossible to look into everything, right? So I would say ownership is a great word. They took ownership of their task, and which is a very great thing. After volunteer speaker, he helped me organize the AWS community day, first community day, everybody here, right? So they are core team members now. Okay, everybody started from different backgrounds, right? So Pushkar was into different communities, right, into different cities. He got from volunteer to a core team member and a co-organizer now. Yash was just a student. We used to just chit chat. He came as a volunteer, develop our website. Then he became volunteer. Now he is also a core team member for us. Samruddhi was also we were in same college, so she had the knack for hosting the events. As you all know, she has everybody who has attended the AWS User Group Nashik or Pune's community day, they will know like what sort of talent she has. So you can't, you don't need to host an external person to host the event. It was like 100% professional hosting, right, with very minimal guidance. So these kind of things make you a contributor. These things automatically will get you to the hierarchy, as you can say, right? So i- so I'll just end by saying this, that just reach out to the closest community you have in your city. If you do not have community, try to reach out to the AWS developer relations team or somewhere from the AWS. Like, how can I get in touch with them, or how can I start my own chapter, right? So if you have a community already in place in your city, just go to their events, just ask them how you can contribute. They'll guide you throughout. And this is how you can become part of different communities, right? And along with this, different there are different programs from AWS, like community builders program, heroes program, and you ask anybody of them, they have grown and they have reached to that level through the AWS user groups only. So for me, when I started hosting the events and everything, I got some sort of reach and exposure to the speakers, and I got selected as a community builder also. So this is my third year consecutively as a community builder, right? So this way, these things come as complementary. You don't need to ask for it like, I want this, I want that. These things will come to you, as a compliment, right? So this is how you can get started with communities. And anything you guys need, there are people in the chat box. Even you can if you still have some questions in this chat box, you can reach out to Dheeraj. He will redirect to a concerned person. Right, so this is how you get in touch with the communities, and you can also start your own communities also and become a part of it. I hope I have answered the questions.
So Abhishek, why don't you go ahead and share your community link in the chat so people can refer it for Nasik?
Definitely. I have already shared the website. I'll share the link with you for the meetup page. They can simply join there. They'll get the notifications. So I'll just share the link with you in the private chat. You can just flash it on the screen, or maybe post it in the chat box. I'll also post it in the chat also. Yep.
So I guess you sent that as a private chat. No worries. So let me go ahead and reshare it for you right away.
Yeah, and I have put it in the chat box also on YouTube. Correct.
Okay. So guys, this is the official
Anybody
email.
can reach out to this email also. We have it active.
If you would like to be a part of uh, and want to contribute as a volunteer or as a co-organizer, or just want to contribute and learn new things, don't forget to drop an email to this link if you have any questions, and definitely these guys will come back to you. Or you can also visit their meetup page, that is AWS UG Nashik. At that, you can just go ahead and become a member. So whenever a new meetup is going to come up, so based on this meetup and all, you would get automatically notified that what kind of meetups are going to come into picture. So don't forget. And thank you guys for sharing your experience. It was really great talking with you. And thank you for giving your time to this live talk show, which is an initiative to share the knowledge about what happens behind the scenes of AWS User Group community, what all work you guys do, what are the hard works that people cannot see directly as part of the meetups which are already organized. Like as you said, that you guys are already working professionals, so you have to work and you have to give your time over there along with your family time. So it's a very big journey that you guys carry upon, and I really appreciate that, and I'm sure people who have joined this call, they also appreciate the same. So thank you so much for joining this call, and thank you guys for joining this live talk show. In next week, we will we will meet another user group who is going to be a big user group, and that user group has made a very big impact, and they will share their knowledge that how they had created such a big impact by sharing their journey with us. So stay tuned and see you at the next week.
Dheeraj,
Bye for
thank you
now.
so much for starting
Oh,
with this series. Actually, because this is really going to be helpful to all those people out there who really want to be a part of these kind of things. They want to know about these things. So yes, the series is definitely going to help them. Thank you so much for starting with it.
yes.
Yes,
Thank you,
thank you so
Samruddhi.
much, Dheeraj, too, for inviting us. And we are very happy to share our experiences. And I hope someone gets inspired through these. And
Yes.
I hope to see this community things growing.
Yeah. Thank you, guys. Thank you for your kind words. So see you soon. Bye for now.
Bye bye.
Yeah. Bye
Bye
bye.
bye.